Welcome to HHI-TV, where communities come to speak. I'm Michael Burgess.
And I'm Carrie Smoot.
And we're here with B.J. Payne. He is the head football coach of the Hilton Head High School Seahawks. And you know what's great about this time of the year, having played football in high school, you smell the grass and the heat that's in the air, and everybody loves football. So the big thing that everybody is wondering about is, when do things get started? When do you start practice, and when does football get underway?
Well, our official practices actually have begun. We're in the middle of practicing right now. All summer long, Monday through Thursday, we've had our summer workouts and lifting and conditioning, and now we're into two-a-days, which is a word that a lot of people don't like to hear that used to play. Yeah. But we're in the middle of two-a-day practices. We start our first practice at 7 a.m., and that's when we start. And then we finish up around 3 p.m. So we have two practices each day, and included in that's our lift-in session and films and meetings. But we're trying to do as much as we can as early in the day as we can to try to beat the heat. If we can. I don't know if that's going to work.
It's been really hard to do.
Right.
It's interesting. I tell you, with that lead-in, Michael, it was interesting talking about smelling the grass. So when is the first game?
Our first game is August 24th. It's at home at Community Stadium against Whale Branch. We open up our first two games are at home. The following week, the 31st, we play at home against Jasper County, which is now a new school because they combined Hardeeville and Ridgeland again. So it's Jasper County, so it'll be a little bit of a challenge for us.
Okay, well, that's going to be great. Well, it seems like you're going to have a great season. So the season starts coming up in August, but when is the last regulation game?
The actual last game is October 25th. It's actually a Thursday night game. And we are on the road for that game on October 25th, and then hopefully that's not the last game, and then continue on into the playoffs, and hopefully we have another 4 or 5 weeks after that.
Woohoo! That sounds great.
You know, the community's always been a really big part, I know, of the football group. Are you feeling that this year? I mean, tell me about a little bit about the community support you're seeing and feeling as the new coach.
I think it's been absolutely amazing. As a new coach coming in, not knowing what to expect, going out in the community, I think we've taken a grassroots approach to a lot of things, from everything from getting the community involved as end up doing our program ads to going out and inviting them to watch our practices and to watch our workouts. I'm went to a high school that's a very strong community support, and with that I grew up with that, and the community support is very important. So I think the community has been absolutely very welcoming to myself, and we have 5 other new members on our staff that are here that are new as well, and we're ready to get it going. I think the community is as well.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
The community is obviously incredibly important and a huge deal whenever we're talking about all the fundraisers and everything else with all of these athletic programs. Do you have anything that's planned or anything specific right now that can get everybody involved?
We do. We have a couple different things going on at the school. One thing that is in particular to the football program is on August 18th at Skull Creek Boathouse, we have a low country barbecue, in which the entire team will be there, coach and staff, and tickets can be purchased for $20 through the high school, or somebody can call me and order the tickets as well. My number is 843-368-4618. And with that, the whole team's going to be there. It's going to be kind of like a community pep rally. The band's going to be there. We're going to have the cheerleaders there, and then obviously there's going to be great food. We're going to have they're going to have barbecue. There's going to be a low country boil. We're going to have oysters, even though we have to found out we have to get them from the Gulf Coast because of when it is. For the local oysters. Right, it's still too early here to get the oysters for that, but very excited. I'm very excited to see everybody from the community come, let alone a bunch of great food. So I'm very excited.
Great idea for a fundraiser.
Yes.
A lot of people could get behind that.
Right.
Yes.
Excellent.
That kind of involves everybody.
Right. And August 25th is when we have the Back to the Nest event, which is a school athletic booster club event, which will be held at Shelter Cove Park. They used to hold an event like it at the high school in the past, but now the booster club has taken it over. It's called Back to the Nest. It's from 5 to 9 p.m. At Shelter Cove Park. There's going to be games, rides, food, all kinds of tent setups. It's going to be a big event, as well as a couple bands will be there as well.
Okay.
Great.
Outstanding. Now, before we we want to make sure we mention that number again to contact you, but I want to ask about, and this is going to go just slightly in a different direction, but You talked about wanting to start before it gets too hot.
Right.
I want to talk about that heat
Right.
that's here. It's been ongoing and hanging around. What kind of precautions are you taking with the players with regard to that? You're doing the 2-a-day practices, and you lose a lot of sweat and fluids, and
Right.
so what are the precautions that you take with that?
Well, it's a great lead-in because I was actually interviewed by the newspaper yesterday about this exact same question. I always say you have to practice smart. What we do is we take a water break every 20 minutes, let the kids go in the shade for 5 minutes, and then we also make sure we have water at each station. Each position group has water bottles that are kept full for the guys to get water. Now, we do have heat measurements in which if it's, according to the heat index, which we have a machine that tells us that, if it's too hot to where the kids can't participate. Obviously, it gets very humid, it gets very hot here. But being from where I came from in a school in Ohio, it was very humid as well there. Now, it doesn't crank up as much as it does here, but it gets very warm up there as well with the humidity. I joked with the newspaper reporter yesterday and told him I'm not coming from Alaska, I'm coming from Ohio. So Ohio's had Ohio's had like 1,400 degree days so far this summer.
Yes. With no breeze.
Right. So those are some of the things we do. We have a couple other secrets on what we do on game nights to make sure our kids, hold their fluids in. But I can't give those secrets out. I don't want Bluffton.
Well, we don't want you to do that.
That's our Superman juice. So.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So what other things can the community do to help out?
I think the biggest thing is come out and support. Come out and support. Show up on Friday nights to our games. The first August 24th game. The community has been great. We've done a lot of things to get the kids out in the community, doing different fundraisers and having them walk the streets and go to the schools. But if the community come to the games, that'd be a great boost.
So, all right, and let's get that number again to contact you.
It's 843-368-4618.
All right, very good. BJ Payne, head football coach for the Hilton Head High School Seahawks. And we thank you for joining us. We'll be back next time. I'm Michael Burgess.
And I'm Carrie Smoot.
Thank you for joining 843 TV, where communities come to speak.